Welcome to the third month update of my beginner £200 per month portfolio on Lightyear, stocks and shares ISA, investing £200 per month to show investing from scratch what it's actually like. No hype, just the reality of long-term, simple investing. So we're going to jump straight into it today. I'm using the app this time rather than the web version, the desktop version, just to mix things up. And you can see the current value of the stocks ISA here is £638.86. And before we go any further, as always, please remember that these videos are not investment advice and that when investing, your capital is at risk and the value of investments can go down as well as up. And what is suitable for me may not be suitable for you, so please do your own research. Okay, so past month, we're up by 2.23% or £13.98. I can go on the other views, but it is a bit useless for me because I'm now using this portfolio for the £200 per month beginner portfolio. Before that, I was temporarily using the stocks ISA to hold a money market fund, Lightyear Vaults. So Lightyear Vaults is basically a way to invest into a money market fund. And at the moment, that's 3.8% AER. It's not the same as holding cash and getting interest on cash because it is an investment. But money market funds are considered low risk investments. But if you are interested in Lightyear Vaults, just make sure you read the FAQs on money market funds. I personally was happy with the small risk associated with them to hold some money for a period of time. Okay, so in the last update, I did set up a plan and moved my investment into that plan. And I called it the Global Equity £200 per month. And this plan is literally all that's in it is the SPDR MSCI All Country World ETF. And the SPDR MSCI All Country World ETF is a global index tracking ETF that contains both developed and emerging markets. If we scroll down, you can see the total expense ratio is 0.12%. It's an accumulating fund, so that means dividends are automatically reinvested. I don't receive any dividends. They're retained at fund level, reinvested at fund level, which in turn helps push up the share price. It's hands-off. I'm not bothered about receiving dividends because if I did receive the dividends, I'd just reinvest them anyway. So accumulating just means it's hands-off for me. You can see the past performance here. And you can see over the past 5 years, it's been a very good time to be an investor. Only 2022 has been a negative year. Apart from that, it's all been green. Of course, past performance doesn't guarantee future results, and it has happened in the past where there's been many red years in a row, and that could happen again in the future. So that's why I only invest money that I can put away for a minimum of 5 years. There's no guarantees, but when you invest for the long term, you reduce the chances of losing money because you have time to ride out any volatility, fluctuations, crashes, dips, so many words for it. And recently, we have been spoiled in the sense that when there has been a dip or a crash, things have recovered super quickly. So you can see the calendar year returns here. So for example, 2025 was a super green year overall, but that calendar year return doesn't really let you know that in that 2025, we had the Trump tariff dip. But the Trump tariff dip just didn't last long at all because within a couple of months, the tariff news had changed and the market had recovered. And yeah, it's just these calendar years do mask the fluctuations during the year. But what I was saying is I think people have been spoiled recently in the sense that when there has been a dip, it just hasn't lasted long. So it's worth remembering that in the past, there has been dips and crashes that when it goes down, it stays down. It takes a while to get to all-time highs again. So it's just why I always go to investing with a long-term mindset, especially when I'm 100% stocks, 100% equities. Although I'm diversified across thousands of stocks with this fund, it's still one asset class, 100% stock. So if stocks take a hit, then my portfolio is going to take a hit. So scrolling down, fund size, 12 billion. It's a super large fund. Fund size matters because the larger a fund, the less likely it is that the fund provider is going to close it down. You don't lose money if the fund provider closes the fund, but the fund may get liquidated and it's just a bit of a hassle. It means you'll have cash in your account. If you're not in a tax advantaged account, then a fund being liquidated could be a tax event, a taxable event. And then the other reason why fund size matters is that the larger a fund is, usually the better the bid offer spread is, the difference in the price you can buy a share of an ETF at and the price you can sell a share of an ETF at. So yeah, large fund, I always go for large ETFs where possible. And here, the holdings, although it is globally diversified, there is significant weighting in the top 10 because it's market cap weighted. And with market cap weighted ETFs, the greater the market value of a company, the greater the weighting it has in the ETF. Sectors we can see here as well. Software and semiconductors dominating. Tech basically does dominate the world at the moment. So no wonder it dominates an ETF as well with what you invest into with a global ETF. And finally, the regional breakdown, it's over 60% US. So although it does contain stocks from about 40 to 50 countries, the US dominates. As a result of that market cap weighting, the companies with the greatest market value are all in the US at the moment, pretty much. And you can see here at the bottom, so in the first month, I didn't have it in the plan. It was just the SPIDA MSCI Country World. But for the last 2 months, I've topped up via the plan. If we click onto it here, we can see that it was just the view order. It was just the SPIDA MSCI Country World. It just shows up differently because I was doing it within this plan. If you've used Trading 212, then a plan is kind of similar, very similar, I should say. Lightyear plans are very similar to Trading 212 pies, just allow you to group investments together, set up automatic investing. I only have one investment, so I'm not really making good use of the grouping investments together, but it does allow you to track it separately. So I do like the plan feature, even if you aren't using multiple investments. So I set up the plan because last month I missed a deposit, life got in the way. And I thought if I set up a plan and set up automatic deposits and automatic investing, then I don't have any excuses basically for missing an investment. But it's funny that last month I was late with my investment, and that cost me because whilst I was late with my investment, the market went up. So I was buying at a higher price. And if I had remembered and bought at the start of the month, I would have got a slightly lower price. So, and then this month with my automatic investment, it went in at a market top. And then a few days later, the market went down a little bit, not much, but a little bit. So it's just how things work. There's no point worrying about things like that because you can't time the market perfectly. You don't know when is going to be the best time to buy or best time to sell. So just investing consistently every month. Some months you're going to get a good price. Some months you're going to get a bad price. And thinking, oh no, if only I'd have waited another week and I would have got the dip. Or if only I invested a week earlier and it would have been better. You can't be thinking like that because you don't know. No one knows when the best time to invest, especially with a globally diversified investment. You can't time when the global stock market is going to go up or down. So it's not something I worry about too much, and it's not worth stressing yourself out or worrying about things that are out of your control. What's in my control are things that I can set up using a tax-advantaged account like a stocks and shares ISA, picking an investment that suits my risk tolerance, in this case, a global diversified ETF, and regularly investing and being disciplined through the ups and downs. These are all things in my control. What happens in the market day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year is not in my control. So it's not something I worry about too much. Now, comparing this portfolio to my main stocks and shares ISA, the main difference is that this one is super simple. It's only the SPIDA MSCI Country World. And for my other stocks and shares ISA, I do keep that very simple as well nowadays. I have been guilty of overcomplicating things in the past. 70% of my main stock and shares ISA is in this same ETF, a global ETF. But then I have small positions, about 20% in a small cap value ETF. And then I have small positions in an investment trust, and Nasdaq 100 ETF, and then tiny allocations to a couple individual stocks. And I'm keeping this one super simple just because it's all those like extra bits that I have in my main portfolio, I see for me as optional. It's just how I keep investing interesting to me, how I put my small tilt on the portfolio. But I always go back to the fact that I would be quite happy with having a simple global fund for long-term investing based on my risk tolerance. That would suit me. And with my main ISA, I do see those extra parts as optional. They're not going to be the reason why I do or don't achieve my financial goals because they're relatively small parts of the portfolio. And I do genuinely believe that I would be able to achieve my financial goals, hopefully over the long term, with a simple portfolio as well. And investing really can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. It's really completely up to you. If you do want to go the individual stock route, it's just worth being honest with yourself. Are you going to research them properly, or are you chasing hype? Are you copying what other people are doing? Because if you're chasing hype or copying what other people are doing, then it's probably not a well thought out strategy. So going forward, we're just going to keep on doing the £200 per month into this global fund. And do I have any plans to change that? Not really. The only thing that could change in the future is if the small cap value ETF that I have in my Trading 212 portfolio gets added to Lightyear, then I may add that to this portfolio as well, just so it mirrors it in the sense of that is my main strategy at the moment, a global index tracking ETF and a small cap value ETF, because the global ETF, although it is globally diversified, it only contains large and mid cap stocks. It doesn't contain small cap stocks. So I like to hold a small cap ETF as well, specifically a small cap value ETF because I enjoy factor investing. That's why my main portfolio is split like that. And if that ETF that I invest into is added to Lightyear at some point, then I may consider adding it to this beginner portfolio as well and splitting the contribution proportionally how I do on my other main stocks and shares ISA. In these beginner updates, I do want to go through as many beginner questions that I can. So if you do have questions that you want me to answer in the next video, please do leave them in the comments below. I love to get comments. I love to get questions. So please do leave as many as you like, and I'll put them together, the ones that I can answer well, in the next video, and hopefully share some tips, information that can be helpful. And just before we wrap up, this video is not sponsored, but I am an affiliate partner of Lightyear. So what that means is that if you scan the QR code on screen or sign up via the link in the description or use my promo code TOM in the app, you can claim between £10 and £100 in free fractional shares when you complete onboarding and deposit at least £100 yourself. Terms do apply, and please remember that when investing, your capital is at risk and the value of investments can go down as well as up. As that is an affiliate link and code, if you do use it, I do earn a small commission at no cost to you. That's it for this one. As always, thank you for watching.